Well, here we are. Yeah, I was just waiting for people to get in now. Live Q&A. I'm going to try to do this for maybe a half hour. Going for maybe 20 minutes. Maybe something simplistic. Like, I don't know about 30 minutes right off the bat. Maybe next time I'll do 30 minutes. I don't know if I have the time today to really do 30 minutes. But I could try. Maybe 20 minutes at least. Yeah, let's just wait here. For those that come in, Q&A, you can have. This is going to be my first live stream Q&A question, or whatever the heck you want to talk about. You can ask me questions about wrestling, or video games, or anime, comic books, movies, TV shows. So yeah, Sniping is Fun here. And I know there's no one watching. It's still currently 0. Let's see if anyone actually decides to join and watch me even remotely do this. I mean, when I tested the other day, I got a couple people watching, but I'm still not that big of a channel to come and get people to actually join. I'm not going to try to count any time on this thing until I at least see one person on there. So, like I said, if I keep doing this, maybe I'll get more people as I go along. Maybe it wasn't the perfect time to do it either, but I wanted to get it out of the way and try to do it early because, well, I didn't specify a time. I just said sometime probably on Saturday or Sunday. I was also considering too, sometime in the weekend. Just to, this is a test. Like I did the actual test about a week and a half ago. Just to test and see if it works, see if anyone actually was watching. And now it's just, this is my legit trying it and see if it actually remotely works. And then people were on it. I do recall Game Reviews was on the first time, and he said everything was turning out well, and he could hear me and everything. So, let's see. Maybe I'll just do one today, and I'll try to do a short one tomorrow, maybe, or something too. If no one really shows up. I don't know. So far 3 minutes and no one's showed up yet. Makes some sense. When I did that when I did that little video with Vito and Patrick, I got no one. We went for like 10 minutes. But we were just joking around doing whatever, so it doesn't really matter, I guess, in that video. But yeah, maybe if I do this more often, maybe I can start doing this more often, and hopefully more people will join. Now I have specific dates probably for going forward, but I think I want to go do this live thing. With the phone app now, it's like on this phone now I have it gives me the ability to do this going live, and I'm like, maybe I should try it. I don't know. Yeah, 4 minutes and we got someone on. We got a viewer. Can I see who it is? Hello. Nice to see someone actually on here watching me. How's it going? Just basically, this is going to be my first ever Q&A. And I'm pretty well, actually. This is just my first Q&A on YouTube. My phone app now has this going live thing, and I was just testing it out and wanted to maybe from now on do some videos. And my first one here is basically just a live Q&A. So if you have any questions like video game, wrestling, anime, comic books, cartoons, movies, TV shows, whatever, maybe ask me. I don't know. It's more of a simplistic first one I want to do, just to try this out and see how well it goes if I do a legit going live rather than just testing it like I did like a week ago. Well, right now, I haven't really. Well, it depends on like what company we're talking about. So, but if you're just saying wrestlers in general, like any company, like I really haven't been watching a whole lot of wrestling lately. But like I'm a big fan of like AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega to some extent, Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton still a bit, even though I was more of a fan years ago. I don't know, like a lot of modern day wrestlers, I haven't really been keeping up a whole lot lately over the last, couple years. Like I used to be more like, especially with WWE. I especially haven't kept up with WWE in years. And then when it comes to other wrestling companies, I only watch stuff sparingly. So it's all over the place. I don't have like an all-time favorite wrestler, but like if I had to name one in like, current day, it probably would be AJ Styles, because I've been keeping up with him since like TNA. For the most part. Yeah, that's basically my answer to that question. Like, that's where I'd probably go when it comes to that answer. What about? Well, yeah, Shawn Michaels is one of my all-time favorites, as is Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, especially The Rock and Austin. I was younger, I really was a big fan, especially The Rock, because I always remember playing like the wrestling video games at my friend's house, and I was always like The Rock, and he was like always Triple H. Like when the old SmackDown games on PlayStation 1 and like No Mercy as well, and then 64, like all time. That's probably where my when it comes to like old school wrestlers, like, the classics, like I have a lot more I think I like there, because I was watching I think a whole lot more back then. I was more in depth on it back then than I am nowadays. I still like I said, I'm still a fan of wrestling, but it's just like I've kind of started falling out a bit on WWE, and that's not because of like the wrestlers, but the company itself, and then trying to look into other companies and see where a lot of these wrestlers are going and stuff like that. So but yeah, like you just mentioned, like Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, those are some of my all-time favorites as well. I didn't really. No, I actually I never got the network. I'm because I'm like the only one in my house right now that would watch the network, and as much as the content's on there, I really like the content, because it does seem like, especially nowadays than back then, because when they first did the network, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff on it. I was like, yeah, I'm not really going to consider this. And now, all these years later, they have all this old classic stuff and a lot more stuff on it. It's more open. There's more stuff to watch on it. But I never decided to go around and do it, because it's like I'm the only one that would be watching it here. Like we have like Netflix and Hulu and whatnot, and that's like a household thing, and everyone usually uses that. But like with the WWE network, it'd be exclusively like me. And like I said, even though there's more stuff to it now than there was back then, I still don't think that justifies the purchase for me personally. Nothing against the network itself. I'm just saying, for me personally, it wouldn't be. I think it wouldn't be worth it. I think just for me. Oh, we're almost at 10 minutes. Well, maybe I can make this go an hour. I don't know. Because it's already almost 1/3 of the way done, because I was planning on making this like a half hour at first, but maybe. Favorite wrestling game of all time. it may be a cliche answer, but I probably would say No Mercy or Here Comes the Pain, maybe. I really do like Shut Your Mouth as well, and I do like the Day of Reckoning series. And as for like non-WWE related wrestling games, I do really like WCW vs. NWO Revenge. That was like one of the first big wrestling games I really played at the time, even though I wasn't really watching at the time in the late 90s. When we got like the N64 and everything, like that was one of the first games I got, and it was so awesome playing that. That was a really, really good wrestling game. And also the Fire Pro series, am starting to really kind of get into that, and I do like Fire Pro Returns on the PS2, and I have yet to play the new one yet. And as for licensed wrestling games, I would definitely say Saturday Night Slam Masters on the Super Nintendo. If you actually remember that game, it's from Capcom. Back in the day, it's like a Street Fighter beat 'em up wrestling style game, and that was like my first wrestling game I ever played, and it was just so freaking cool. And that's, I think, probably what partially got me into liking wrestling, was probably just playing that game back in the day. How about you? What are some of your favorite wrestling games? Oh, yes, I've played them, and yes, they really are awful. It's kind of funny how they include a lot of those like bonus extra wrestlers, like you can play as like a snowman and whatnot in those games, though. So I'd say at least in that regard, it's kind of funny. You can do like the disco wrestling ring and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, those games were pretty crap, and I don't really like it when you do a wrestling game and you make it like a fighting game where you do have to do like a 15 button combo to frickin' do anything. So that applies to Attitude and what's that game called? What's the other one? Attitude and Mayhem. No, not Mayhem. What's the other one? Damn it, forgot now. Those old WWF Attitude and Warzone. Yeah, Warzone. Like those games, at least those are fun. But the Nitro and Thunder, yeah, no. Those quite frankly sucked. But yeah, like Mike said, yeah, Revenge or World Tour. He said World Tour. World Tour and Revenge were both really fun on the N64. Especially when you play as what's his name, Hanzamon or whatever, the ninja guy, and you do like those 10 combo kick punches. Now that was really fun playing as him. And then like in World Tour, you can unlock like a character that's like Muhammad Ali, which I never got around to doing because I never beat all of it, but it's pretty cool that they include like a boxer in that game. Memories of Raw and WrestleMania the arcade. Now, I really do remember Raw. I mean, WrestleMania the arcade game, I do remember playing that quite a bit. Like the PlayStation 1 version. I think I might have played the Super Nintendo a little bit. As for Raw, that one I'm not really super, familiar with because I didn't actually really play that one. But yeah, WrestleMania the arcade game, I played a whole heck of a lot. Especially the PlayStation 1 version with my cousins. And I do believe the Super Nintendo one I probably did as well. Because I grew up like the Super Nintendo and the original Game Boy, so that's where my early gaming years gravitated to, was the Super Nintendo and the original Game Boy, of which I still actually have. I don't know where I put it though, it's somewhere in this house. So yeah, there's that. Yes, I remember Backstage Assault. I never actually played it back when it came out, like in 2000 or whatever, but I kind of, I was at one of the, these old, game stores a couple years ago, maybe 7 years ago or so, and then I found it there for 99 cents, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this, and it is Backstage Assault. It's kind of it's fun, sort of, in a way, but yeah, it's not, all that great, and it is kind of crappy. But it's kind of funny that they did something that was straight up just backstage fighting, but this is WCW. It wasn't like ECW or anything. It was WCW, just an entirely backstage game. So yeah, there's that. I mean, it's not bad. It was okay. Yeah, it was enjoyable. I remember playing it even though I played it recently, the last 7 or so years. I don't have it anymore now. I got rid of it. I had it on the N64. You know, it was the blue cartridge. I played it with my cousins, and they were laughing hysterically because of how, I wouldn't say crappy, but you know how, you know, what Backstage Assault actually is like. Okay, we went from 3 down to 2. See, now, when it comes to Crush Hour, I actually liked Crush Hour because I was a big fan back in the day of Twisted Metal, and seeing like a Twisted Metal version of with you know, WWE wrestlers, I thought that was pretty fun. Was it great? No, it wasn't, but it was enjoyable. I always wondered, I mean, why they never did a sequel to that, actually. Like, it would have been so cool if they updated the roster and whatnot. That was like 2002, 2003, so they had like Billy and Chuck and the APA, Big Show, Brock Lesnar and whatnot, like, you know, that 2002 to 2003 era. Like, Kurt Angle had hair in the game, so yeah, it was probably 2002. So, like, I always thought it would be kind of cool if they did it years later, like, you know, during, like, the era when you now have, like, you know, Batista and John Cena, back when Mr. Kennedy was still around. Nowadays, you could have, like, Shinsuke Nakamura and all those other people, just, like, all these current day wrestlers, like Bobby Roode and, like, AJ Styles doing stuff, too, or, like, in between that point when you had, like, CM Punk still around. It would have been so cool if they actually took what they did in the first game, or should I say only game, really, and just improved upon it. Because, like I said, I love Twisted Metal because it was such a fun, you know, fun game. But it would have been, you know, like, being, you know, wrestlers and whatnot. But it would have been cool. Like, obviously, the first game would have been like the best, but if they improved upon it, it would have been fun. Okay, we're back down to one person now. Ooh. At least I got some people in this time. Yeah, that's about it for that question. Like, is there any other questions any of you have out there? Which right now is only one person. WrestleMania 19 kicked ass. WrestleMania 19 was awesome. But also, WrestleMania 19 in that, like, revenge mode was a pain in the ass, too, because of all the crap you had to do. There was a lot of those, like, mission modes. I forgot who I beat it with. I only ever beat it once, just to unlock all the stuff in there. But I remember that mode being a major pain, and I forgot who I even beat the mode as. I think it was, like, I think it was Austin or... Triple H, maybe? Oh, actually, no, it wasn't Triple H. Probably, I think I remember started as Goldberg, and it was kind of hard because his finisher was just a freaking spear, and it was impossible to do a lot of stuff in that mode if you had a person that's finisher was not a front stand, like a front grapple. So I think it might have been like Austin or something, but that mode was a pain, but the game was freaking awesome. I loved WrestleMania 19. What did you think of the Legends of Wrestling series? The first one was okay. I did like the second one a lot better because it seemed like they improved upon it, added a lot more stuff to it. I liked the mode and the main story, like career mode in the second one, which was like, you know, going from territory to territory. And Showdown Legends of Wrestling was okay as well. I didn't really put a whole lot of time into the original. I was super hyped for it at the time because playing like well, obviously it was a new franchise at the time, and I was trying to get used to I was playing all these different wrestling games, and I was like, okay, cool, this is one with all these legends, and the gameplay was okay, but it was something new. So I'm like, okay, and they improved upon it. Like the gameplay was a lot better in the second one. It was really kind of fun in the second one. And Showdown Legends of Wrestling was a hit or miss situation. I actually still like it, but I see a lot of people don't really like that game. At least as far as I've seen online, but I actually kind of liked Showdown Legends of Wrestling. But the second one was my favorite of the series. But that's also because I probably have the most memories of that, playing with like friends and whatnot. We always created people just hodgepodge matches together. So yeah, there was that. But overall, I did like it. I just wish it would have been cool if they continued it, because it probably got better if they continued it. But I don't know if it was license rights or whatever the heck else. But because it was like an all Legends game, and it was not only like WWE Legends, but like Legends from around the world. And it was kind of in the first game they had like freaking like Sabu and RVD, which in a way is kind of weird, but yeah. And a lot of Legends you still have yet to see in WWE games, which surprises me, honestly. Because like I basically mentioned in a video I did like 2 days ago with the 5 like new Legends that should be like in the 2K series, like they always seem to do the same people. They should change it up a bit every now and then. Like, so it's so weird that they. I mean, I know they're marketable, like Austin and Rock, but you can change it up a bit. But yeah, there was that question. Any more? Did you have the British Wrestling in States and Legends too? British Wrestling in States. Can you remind me what that is? Because like my memory of that is not really clear right now. Because that sounds familiar, but I'm trying to remember what that is. Like I really. So yeah, basically just inform me what that is, and maybe I can give an answer, because I'm sorry, I don't really know what you're trying to ask right there. Almost 22 minutes. Wow, we're going pretty well with this. That's a good start. We have 2 people in here right now. Oh, no. Oh, now I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, there were some people in our version that were. I remember. Yeah, I remember reading about that. There were certain people in the UK version that we never got in our version. There was like 3 wrestlers or something like that never made it to our version. Yeah, now I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, we didn't get those. Yeah, there were people that weren't in our version of the game, so no, we didn't. Which makes no freaking sense. Why don't you just have all the same people in every version? I hate when they do something like that, like region exclusive stuff. Makes no sense. .23.5 minutes. Wow, going pretty well so far. So yeah, my original plans for this was to make it probably a half hour. But if you guys have a good chunk of more questions or stuff you want to talk about, I could probably bump this to maybe at least 40 minutes. Maybe 45, I don't know. Like if you have something you really want to talk about or discuss or whatever, go to it. Have fun. Because I would rather maybe go as long as I can for this, but at the same time, I don't want to go too long. But I think a half hour was like my major plan to this, my original plan. But if you want me to go longer, just say so. Like I said, this is like my first ever Q&A, and I'm really trying to see how well this goes. Because this is my first time ever actually really doing it, besides that test run I did like a week ago. I'm sure there will eventually be a Donkey Kong for the Switch. I don't know when. And I don't know if it'll be a main Donkey Kong game or a country one, which I would assume it'd probably be a country one because Retro will probably eventually do another game because Rare did 3. So I'm assuming Retro is going to do 3. I'd rather them do other games because they should do a lot more stuff. They can probably bring back a lot more Nintendo franchises. But yeah, I do think Donkey Kong's eventually going to come. I don't know when, obviously, but I mean, I'm still hoping that Nintendo brings back some of their stuff for the Switch because there's a lot of franchises from them I really, really, really think need to be brought back. Like, oh, I don't know, F-Zero. Oh, we're back down to 1. Okay. At least I made it up to 3. I feel accomplished just doing that. 25 minutes, almost 26. Let's see. Hmm. One viewer, 26 minutes. Yeah, maybe if this is going to continue like this, yeah, maybe I'll go about 30, 35 minutes just for this Q&A and just see. But, yeah, like anything else? Anyone else want to join the conversation? I'm open to anything, whatever. Not any personal questions, obviously, but, if you want to talk about wrestling, video games, whatever the heck, comic books, movies, TV shows. Throw it out in the air. Throw it open for whoever wants to, even though there's only one person here right now, wants to join in the conversation and ask anything that relates to such topics. Yeah, I think that with Pauline now coming back to Mario and being in Mario Odyssey after being gone for however long, I mean, besides the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games from back like in the DS and the Game Boy Advance and whatnot, Pauline's now in one of the platforming games, and that was the lady that you were saving from Donkey Kong back in the day. I would think that they should probably have Donkey Kong in Odyssey. I mean, it should be that way, but I don't know. I mean, I would hope so. I mean, I don't know why he hasn't been one to begin with anyways. I mean, they include like all the like playable Toads and whatnot. Why can't we see like Donkey Kong just remotely have a cameo? Yeah. 28 minutes in, counting. Yeah, I think that's about it for that, I guess. Huh. Yeah, maybe I'll end it in about 2 minutes, probably, unless anyone else wants to join in on the. Anyone else joins the stream, joins the video by 30 minutes or so. Maybe I'll probably end it at that point. I don't know yet. But even with just like about 2 or 3 people, I do think there's at least a semi accomplishment, like for a first time stream. Because, quite frankly, I think I answered a decent chunk of questions and whatnot. I was hoping more people would show up, but obviously, compared to a lot of other YouTube channels, my channel's not the hugest. And I just randomly posted, like, I didn't particularly pick a time. I just kind of said, Saturday afternoon. So, yeah. We're about to be 30 minutes right now. And any more questions? Any more questions before I potentially end my first ever Q&A here? Go ahead. well, I guess that might be it for now, but I'll be right back, and when I come back, I'll see how it goes, and I'll take it from there. Okay, so we are still at one person, 31 minutes, 14 seconds. Yeah, I think this is going to be where I end my first ever The Sniping is Fun Q&A here on YouTube Live. For the people that did watch this, I hope you guys liked it, and I hope to do this more often and get more, more Q&A, more questions asked, talk about stuff, maybe go longer, but yeah, I was originally intending to make this about 30 minutes, and I think I'm going to go by that just by the fact that no one else really has shown up yet. So, see you all later in the next video.